You know, part of me has this pit in my stomach because I'm now sitting in front of the camera and everything's recording, and I'm like, ooh, things are not going okay. And I think I gotta just start with that, because I think the thing to do to get to the next step in things is to acknowledge and confirm that you have this thing going on. So I'm not okay. So a few things have happened. For those who know or don't know, my grandma passed away in January. After that, we were just trying to figure out what to do with the house. And then my grandpa on my dad's side passed away. Conveniently and coincidentally the day after we saw him. So to lose two grandparents in the span of 3 months it hit me really hard. I took the time to grieve. I spent like 2 weeks in my room pretty much, just kind of being like, you know, and then after that, it was like, okay, I gotta put the big boy pants back on. We have a house that we have to sell. I have to find my own place. We have roommates that need to move out. We have my personal bills we have to pay, a mortgage and all the debt stuff that we have to pay for. The show must go on, as they say. That ruined a lot of things for me. The show must go on. Although that I went through the immediate grieving, I didn't grieve and still haven't grieved deeply. My younger self still needs to grieve, and that one's gonna be a little bit harder to do. And because the younger self of me hasn't grieved, he has been retaliating against that and has given me my eating back. A trigger warning. Not diagnosed, but you know, you can't really just not assume that you have an eating when you constantly think about food. You are seeking food as a comfort. You don't care how much you eat. And then in doing all of those things, you have regrets about eating the foods that you ate, how much of the foods that you ate. You can't say any of that is not an eating without it being clinical diagnosis of an eating. With that, I had reached that I had lost 55 pounds in a year, but when my grandpa passed away, I had gained 15 pounds back, and I still have not been able to get myself back out of that. I wanted to make a video talking about it, that I've hit 145, but just I could not. Why get back onto a diet when I'm going through all of this and I need to be comforted, and I wasn't getting comfort out of anything else in my life? So what's the one thing that I can choose for myself that does give me comfort? Food. Yeah. Fuck. For example, I started to do the diet again 2 or 3 days ago, and right now I am craving a pizza. After literally just eating health food 6 hours ago, I'm craving a pizza now. And oh, that sounds fine and dandy. You can still have that, just eat in moderation. Yeah, but you can't really get full off of a slice or two of pizza, especially the way that I've been eating. Trigger warning. I usually eat once a day, just so that once a day would fill me up, so then I don't have to worry about doing it more often, because if I do it more often, that's more money, more food, blah, 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 blah. So what I would do is either I would go to like Applebee's and get their whole classic combo appetizer thing, and then get an entree on top of that, which have been like the mac and cheese and the tenders, or it's a burger, or it's another pasta type side. And I would eat all of that in one whole sitting. I actually had a waitress come up to me and see me with all of this food and be like, "You're gonna eat all that?" "Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna eat all that. Just because you said something." There's so many layers in that. You're gonna eat all that? Yeah, well, now I gotta eat it because you said something, because now it's a challenge. But also, you said something that upset me, so now I'm gonna eat away my feelings. And then it just, you know, or it'll be, I'll order pizza, but it'll be like a large pizza, and then I'll get a thing of breadsticks, and I'll eat all of that in one sitting. So with that going on, and the success of my last video is now my most watched video ever, to try and follow that up with something that's equally as exciting or jarring or shocking, or, you know, a lot of pressure in that. Even though I acknowledge that's not gonna be that, but you know, there's still a pressure there. I knew that if I were to work on that, then it means that I'm starting back up again, and that also stresses me out. I know that I need to get all these things done, but I can't. Does that make sense? And it's not because it's like, oh, I don't want to do it. It's not something that I'm not passionate about. It's not something, it's just executive dysfunction. I think that's what it is. But yes, I do just want to acknowledge that I'm aware of everything. There's just a lot going on. I think the thing that sucks the most though is that I'm aware that we have to sell this house and I am the only one cleaning anything in this house. My mom and my uncle are involved in this house. It's in their name. So there's this weird paradigm of, okay, well, I got to clean this house to make sure that it's empty so that we can sell the house as fast as possible. But doing it as fast as possible means that we're quickening up the process to getting rid of this house forever. Because once I move, this house is gone. I had said while I was taking care of her that, oh, October of this specific year, I'm going to move out just because I've been here for like 2 or 3 years, just because I don't want to stay in one spot for too long. In that statement, it was more so like, if I'm leaving, it's not that when I leave, it's not going to be there anymore. It's I'm leaving and it's still going to be there. It's just, this is now a next chapter, but it's still going to be there. There's not a loss. There's not a grieving after that of it being a definitive, it's gone forever. Now you're saying, well, why don't you just buy the house? I've tried. I've gone to a bank and they said, well, we can't give you a loan less than the amount that the house is worth. So if the house is worth $400,000 or more, then you need to get a loan for that high. Let's run your credit, blah, 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 blah. No, so I can't do that. Then they suggested, okay, well, what if you refinanced on the house and reconfigured everything? I'm like, I could do that. I pitched it to my mom and I'm like, my thought is if we refinance it, I'll pay for the whole refinance. We have roommates here. Part of that will go towards that. We can pay that off in a quicker time. And then at that point, if we then decide to sell it, then she and my uncle will have more money in retirement because they're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars each in this house. That this was going to be that moment of me as a son doing that thing for his family that was like retiring his mom. If I don't ever get another opportunity to do that, this is that opportunity. She's like, that's fine and dandy and all, but you're 25. You're not married, don't have kids, you're not tied down to anything. Why tie yourself down to this? And I'm like, okay, the house needs a lot of renovations. I don't know when the original part of the house was, but from the 70s until late 2000s, the house has been built on every decade in that time period. The house used to be 900 square foot and my grandpa built it on to be 4,700 square foot. There's a lot of house and there's a 2-car garage and a livable loft. She just didn't want that for me, which is weird because if I were to move out into an apartment on my own, then I'm having to then be responsible for that rent. And then if I rent a house or if I buy a house, then I'm just back in the same fucking spot. So it doesn't even matter. I don't know. And then in addition to telling me that I'm 25 and all these responsibilities that I shouldn't be responsible for, she says to me, and I quote, I'm saving you from the liability of that house so you can be successful when you're on your own. So now she puts me in a weird spot where everything from then on out is now no longer on me and it's all because of her. That I am now choosing that you don't get this house so that you can be successful on your own when you're on your own. So it's either I'm not successful, but that negatively affects me and that's now my choice, or I am successful and it's all because of her. Quite a conundrum. But 21 Pilots, new music, June, that's all I hear, which is weird. The name of the song, very weird. Hint, hint. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you guys are doing better than I am. Content will come. I don't know when, but it will. It always does. Yeah, I feel it right here. I don't know. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you guys around.